What makes some people navigate life with an almost supernatural wisdom, while others remain stuck in cycles of suffering? The answers are hidden in the depths of existence. This video reveals 9 dark truths that only the chosen ones have the courage to face and understand. Prepare yourself for a revealing journey that unmasks illusions and exposes the essence of reality. These truths are not for the faint-hearted. They are keys that open doors to profound and lasting transformation. If you are ready to challenge your beliefs and awaken to a new consciousness, then you are in the right place. Let's together unravel the mysteries that few dare to explore. Spirituality is often idealized as a path of constant light and peace. However, it involves confronting hidden and uncomfortable truths. It is not uncommon for people to discover, as they delve deeper into their spiritual journey, aspects of themselves they would rather not see. This process of discovery can be painful but is essential for personal growth. Imagine, for example, the need to confront traits of selfishness or envy that were buried. Facing these truths brings challenges that test one's resilience and inner strength. It is common to feel disoriented or lost when confronting one's shadow, but this is a fundamental step for healing and personal transformation. Remember the example of a friend who, while meditating, discovered old resentments that needed to be resolved to advance in their spiritual journey. Exploring the hidden layers of spirituality demands an approach of mindfulness and empathy towards oneself. This practice helps navigate uncomfortable feelings with more compassion and understanding. Instead of fleeing from these feelings, one learns to accept them as part of their spiritual growth. After all, recognizing one's vulnerability is an act of inner strength. True personal growth does not occur in the comfort zone. It is through adversities that people discover their potential and transform. By facing these hidden truths, it is possible to find lasting inner peace based on the complete acceptance of oneself. For example, someone who faces the fear of failure may eventually discover a self-sufficiency and confidence never before imagined. Moreover, these hidden truths often reveal the interconnectedness of all beings. Understanding that no one is alone in their challenges and that we are all part of a greater universal energy can bring a sense of peace and empathy. It is common that, upon recognizing their own pain, a person becomes more sensitive and supportive of others' pain, promoting an environment of mutual healing. The spiritual journey is, therefore, a voyage into oneself, where each discovered layer offers a new opportunity for growth and personal transformation. On this path, one finds hidden truths that, although initially painful, are fundamental for enlightenment. Each revealed layer is a chance to reconnect with one's purest and truest essence. In this process, it is important to remember that spirituality is not a destination, but a continuous journey of self-discovery. The hidden truths we encounter along the way are merely stages of this journey, each offering its own lessons and insights. Cultivating inner peace and empathy becomes a daily exercise that requires dedication and courage. A practical example could be the daily practice of meditation, which helps one reconnect with their universal energy and face their inner truths with more clarity and serenity. Books like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle can be great allies in this process, offering valuable insights about the present and spiritual connection. As one advances on this journey, they begin to see life with new eyes, appreciating the beauty in small things and recognizing the deep interconnectedness of everything around them. This new perspective brings a sense of gratitude and environmental responsibility, as one understands that taking care of the planet is taking care of oneself and others. And with each new layer revealed, one gets closer to a full and enlightened existence, always in search of new truths and learnings. Each challenge faced and overcome reinforces one's inner strength and capacity for personal transformation. However, this journey often brings a sense of loneliness, as those around us do not always understand the changes we are experiencing. The spiritual journey, although enriching, can bring with it a sense of loneliness. It is common that, upon starting this path of personal growth and spiritual awakening, one feels isolated, as friends and family do not always understand the changes occurring. Loneliness, in this context, is not just physical, but also emotional and spiritual. This isolation can be challenging, but it is also an opportunity to strengthen self-sufficiency and inner strength. Without constant external support, one is encouraged to seek within themselves the answers and comfort needed. It is like a bird learning to fly alone, discovering its own power and potential. Facing loneliness, it is important to remember that it is a natural part of the spiritual journey. Many spiritual figures, like monks and hermits, have chosen solitude as a means to connect more deeply with spirituality and achieve enlightenment. Loneliness can be seen, therefore, as a phase of introspection and growth. To deal with this loneliness, the practice of mindfulness can be a great ally. Being present in the moment helps one accept loneliness, transforming it into an opportunity for self-knowledge. Additionally, daily meditation can bring a sense of inner peace, lessening the weight of isolation. It is also useful to find spiritual communities online or locally, where one can share experiences and find support. Participating in meditation groups or spiritual reading can alleviate the feeling of being alone, showing that there are many others on the same journey. For example, apps like Insight Timer offer guided meditations and a global community of practitioners. Loneliness on the spiritual path can also lead to the recognition of the shadow self. Being alone gives one the opportunity to confront their deepest fears and insecurities, often masked by daily distractions. This confrontation is essential for healing and personal growth, allowing for genuine transformation. On the other hand, this loneliness can strengthen the interconnectedness with universal energy. By realizing that loneliness is only a perception and that, in reality, we are all connected by a greater force, one can find comfort and peace. This understanding can come through nature, art, or moments of deep contemplation. Loneliness can also be a time to discover one's own purpose. Without external influences, one has the freedom to explore their true passions and desires. It is an opportunity to redefine what is important in life and align with spiritual values. Moreover, loneliness allows for greater environmental responsibility. Spending more time in introspection can develop a deeper empathy for the world around, recognizing the importance of taking care of the planet as part of the spiritual journey. This period of loneliness, though challenging, is rich in opportunities for growth and self-discovery. It is a time to strengthen the connection with one's essence and with universal energy. And by embracing this loneliness, one prepares to confront even more deeply their shadow self, revealing and healing the hidden parts of themselves. Recognizing and accepting the shadow self is an essential step on the spiritual journey. The shadow self represents our deepest fears, insecurities, and negative traits that we often avoid confronting. Ignoring these aspects of ourselves prevents true healing and personal growth. It takes courage to look within and admit these dark parts we often try to hide. When one decides to face their shadow self, they begin to realize that these aspects are not necessarily bad, but integral parts of their being. By accepting these parts, one can start working on them and transforming them into something positive. It is a process that involves a lot of self-compassion and understanding, knowing that everyone has a shadow side. Practicing regular self-reflection can be an effective method for confronting the shadow self. This can be done through journaling, meditation, or simply taking time to reflect on daily actions and emotions. Books like The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy can provide valuable insights on how to approach these hidden aspects of ourselves. During this process, it is normal to feel discomfort and resistance. Confronting fears and insecurities can be challenging, but it is a necessary step for spiritual growth. A practical example might be therapy, where a professional can help explore these feelings and deeply rooted traumas, guiding one towards healing and self-discovery. By integrating the shadow self, one begins to experience profound transformation. The parts that once caused fear and shame can become sources of strength and wisdom. It is a process of personal transformation that allows for a greater understanding and acceptance of oneself, promoting lasting inner peace. This integration also leads to greater empathy for others. By recognizing their own struggles and shadows, one becomes more compassionate and understanding of others' struggles. This strengthens the interconnectedness between individuals and universal energy, creating an environment of mutual support and healing. Accepting the shadow self can awaken a deeper environmental responsibility. When one fully understands and accepts themselves, they begin to see the world around them with more clarity and empathy, feeling compelled to care for the planet and its inhabitants. Personal healing, therefore, becomes a path to world healing. For many, confronting the shadow self can be a path to spiritual awakening. It is a process of letting go of illusions created by the ego and seeing the truth of who we really are. By doing this, one frees themselves from the bonds of fear and insecurity, allowing for genuine growth and spiritual enlightenment. This journey of self-discovery can be long and challenging, but it is rewarding. Each step taken towards recognizing and accepting the shadow self is a step towards true freedom and inner peace. It is a path that requires patience, courage, and determination, but offers profound and lasting personal transformation. Confronting the shadow self is an act of courage and self-love. It is recognizing that we are complex beings with both light and shadow, and that both are essential for our wholeness. And by integrating these parts of ourselves, we prepare to embrace and face suffering more consciously and compassionately, a crucial aspect for spiritual growth and enlightenment. Suffering is an inevitable part of life, and by facing it head-on, one can find a path to spiritual growth and enlightenment. However, it is common for people to try to avoid or flee from suffering, seeing it as something exclusively negative. The key to personal transformation lies in changing this perspective, recognizing suffering as a teacher. When one learns to accept suffering, they begin to realize that each challenge brings with it a valuable lesson. These lessons can teach about resilience, patience, and the ability to find strength amid adversity. It is like the process of forging a sword. The metal must go through intense fire to become stronger and sharper. Embracing suffering does not mean resigning to pain, but allowing oneself to feel fully and learn from these experiences. A practical example could be the practice of mindfulness, where one observes their emotions and thoughts without judgment, allowing themselves to feel and process suffering healthily. Books like The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown offer insights on how to accept vulnerability and pain as part of growth. Suffering can also serve as a catalyst for change. Often, it is through difficulties that one is driven to seek a more meaningful and authentic life. The process of healing and personal transformation frequently begins with a period of deep pain that leads to reflection and spiritual awakening. In this context, it is crucial to cultivate compassion for oneself. Accepting that suffering is part of the human journey and treating oneself with kindness during difficult moments can make a significant difference in how one faces adversities. This practice of self-compassion is fundamental for healing and personal growth. Suffering can also increase empathy for others. By going through tough times, one becomes more capable of understanding and supporting those facing their battles. This empathy strengthens the bonds of interconnectedness and creates a network of mutual support, essential for emotional and spiritual well-being. Additionally, facing suffering consciously can reveal the true nature of the ego. Often, the ego creates illusions and expectations that lead to suffering. By recognizing and questioning these illusions, one can begin to let go of the ego's control and embrace a more authentic and spiritual perspective on life. Practices like meditation and contemplation can help one deal with suffering more consciously. These practices offer a safe space to explore painful emotions and thoughts, allowing one to find a sense of inner peace, even amid difficulties. It is like finding a safe harbor in the midst of a storm. Facing suffering can also be an opportunity to reconnect with universal energy. Often, the moments of greatest pain are those when one seeks a deeper connection with something greater than themselves. This quest can lead to a sense of peace and acceptance, knowing that everything is part of a larger plan. Finally, it is essential to remember that suffering is not permanent. Just as storms pass, periods of pain also eventually give way to moments of joy and serenity. Keeping this perspective can help one face challenges with more courage and hope. By embracing suffering consciously and compassionately, one prepares to face the ego's disappointment, understanding that many of the pains we feel are the result of the illusions and expectations created by it. Ego disillusionment is a common obstacle on the path to spiritual growth. The ego creates illusions and expectations that can hinder true spiritual awakening. Often, these illusions make us believe we need certain things or conditions to be happy, when in reality, true happiness comes from within. Recognizing the ego's illusions is a crucial step in personal growth. When one realizes that many of their anxieties and frustrations are created by the ego, they can start to release its control over their life. This is not easy, as the ego is cunning and often disguises itself as legitimate thoughts and desires. A practical example of how the ego can deceive us is the incessant quest for external approval. Many people believe they need others' validation to feel good about themselves. However, this quest can lead to a constant feeling of dissatisfaction. Practices like meditation and self-reflection can help one recognize and question these illusions. By letting go of the ego's control, one begins to experience a sense of freedom and authenticity. Without the illusions and expectations imposed by the ego, they can live according to their true values and desires. This process of liberation is often accompanied by a feeling of inner peace and fulfillment. Understanding the ego's disillusionment can also increase empathy and compassion for others. When we recognize that everyone faces their battles with the ego, we can become more understanding and supportive. This understanding strengthens the interconnectedness between individuals and universal energy. Mindfulness can be a powerful tool for dealing with the ego. By being present in the moment, one can observe their thoughts and emotions without identifying with them. This allows them to see the ego in action and choose not to react to it. Books like The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz offer valuable techniques for cultivating this awareness. Letting go of the ego's control also involves accepting life's impermanence. Many of the ego's illusions are rooted in the desire to control and maintain certain conditions. By accepting that everything is in constant change, one can find a sense of peace and acceptance. This acceptance is an important step for spiritual growth and enlightenment. When facing the ego's disillusionment, it is helpful to remember that the ego is not an enemy, but a part of us that needs to be understood and integrated. Instead of fighting the ego, one can learn to work with it, using the lessons it offers to grow and transform. This understanding promotes a gentler and more compassionate approach to oneself. Ego disillusionment often manifests as comparison with others. Constantly comparing oneself can lead to envy, insecurity, and dissatisfaction. Recognizing that everyone has their path and that comparison is an ego illusion can help one focus on their growth and well-being. Overcoming the egos. Disillusionment is an ongoing process that requires vigilance and practice. By becoming more aware of the ego's illusions, one can choose to live more authentically and aligned with their true values. This choice leads to a fuller and more satisfying life, paving the way for the next step in the spiritual journey. By letting go of the ego's illusions and embracing the truth of who we really are, one prepares to face the challenges of spiritual awakening. This process disrupts previous perceptions, requiring patience, self-compassion, and willingness to adapt to profound inner changes. Spiritual awakening is a transformative experience that can completely disrupt a person's previous perceptions. This process involves deep inner changes that require patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to adapt. It is not uncommon to feel confused or lost during this transition period. One of the biggest challenges of spiritual awakening is dealing with the disorientation it causes. Old beliefs and behavior patterns may no longer make sense, and one may feel as if they are navigating unknown territory. This is a crucial moment to practice mindfulness and stay grounded in the present, allowing new perceptions to integrate gradually. Self-compassion is essential during spiritual awakening. One may face feelings of inadequacy or doubt, questioning their sanity or the path they have chosen to follow. It is important to treat oneself with kindness and remember that these feelings are a natural part of the growth process. Books like Loving What Is by Byron Katie can be valuable resources for cultivating self-compassion. Another common challenge is the need to let go of old patterns and relationships that no longer serve the spiritual purpose. This can be painful, but it is a necessary step to make space for new experiences and connections more aligned with the new level of consciousness. The practice of letting go can be facilitated by symbolic rituals, such as writing a farewell letter to these old patterns and burning it as an act of release. During spiritual awakening, it is common to feel a deeper connection with universal energy and perceive the interconnectedness of all beings. This perception can bring a sense of peace and purpose, but it can also be overwhelming. Participating in spiritual communities can offer support and guidance during this phase, providing a sense of belonging and mutual understanding. Patience is an essential virtue in spiritual awakening. Inner changes may not happen overnight, and one may feel impatient to achieve a state of enlightenment or clarity. Practicing patience involves trusting the process and allowing transformations to occur at their own pace. Spiritual awakening can also bring up unresolved and intense emotions. Feelings of sadness, anger, or fear may emerge as old wounds are healed. Facing these emotions with courage and openness is crucial for complete healing. Holistic therapies, such as Reiki or acupuncture, can be helpful in balancing energy and supporting the healing process. As one advances on this journey, they begin to understand the importance of their actions and choices, realizing that everything is interconnected. This understanding deepens the spiritual journey and broadens the sense of responsibility towards the world around. The perception of interconnectedness with all beings and universal energy becomes clearer and more significant. This understanding of interconnectedness is a fundamental step for spiritual growth, teaching that every action, thought, and emotion impacts the whole. When one recognizes this truth, they begin to live with more empathy and responsibility, both towards other human beings and the environment, understanding that everything is interconnected. Recognizing our connection with a greater universal energy is a fundamental step in spiritual growth. This perception of interconnectedness teaches us that every action, thought, and emotion impacts the whole. When one understands this truth, they begin to live with more empathy and responsibility, both towards other human beings and the environment. Interconnection makes us realize that we are not alone in our spiritual journeys. Each individual is an essential part of the whole, and our experiences, although unique, are interconnected by this universal energy. This leads to a sense of inner peace, knowing that we are part of something greater, and that our lives have purpose and meaning within this vast system. This understanding also awakens a deep empathy for others. By recognizing that we are all connected, we start treating others with more kindness and compassion. Small acts of kindness, such as helping a neighbor or volunteering, become ways to honor this connection and contribute to the collective well-being. In the environmental realm, the perception of interconnection motivates us to take care of the planet with more responsibility. We understand that our actions affect not only ourselves, but all living beings and future generations. Adopting sustainable practices, such as recycling and reducing plastic consumption, becomes an expression of our commitment to the Earth and all its inhabitants. Practicing meditation and mindfulness can help deepen this sense of interconnection. During meditation, we can connect with universal energy and feel the presence of this greater force in our lives. Books like The Art of Living by Thich Nhat Hanh offer guidance on how to cultivate this awareness in our daily practice. As we cultivate this awareness of interconnection, we begin to perceive universal energy in all aspects of life. This leads us to live more consciously and intentionally, choosing actions that promote harmony and balance. This approach not only benefits the individual, but also contributes to creating a more compassionate and sustainable world. Interconnection reminds us that each being has a unique role to play in the grand scheme of life. When we recognize and value this diversity, we learn to appreciate each individual's contributions and work together for the common good. This harmonious collaboration is essential for spiritual progress and collective well-being. By embracing interconnection, we become more aware of the universal energy that flows through us and everything around us. This allows us to access an inexhaustible source of inner strength and wisdom, guiding us in our spiritual journeys. And by living according to this wisdom, we experience deeper spiritual growth and lasting inner peace. The quest for inner peace is a crucial aspect of spiritual growth. It is not just the absence of conflict, but a deep state of harmony and balance. To achieve this peace, it is essential to understand and integrate all parts of oneself, including the shadows and the light. Meditation, the practice of gratitude, and self-reflection are powerful tools in this process. Meditation is a practice that helps calm the mind and find a point of inner balance. Setting aside a few minutes each day to meditate can bring clarity and tranquility, allowing one to reconnect with their essence. Practices like guided meditation or mindfulness are especially useful for beginners who seek to cultivate this inner peace. The practice of gratitude is another effective method for achieving inner peace. By focusing on the things we are grateful for, we change our perspective and open ourselves to the abundance present in our lives. Keeping a gratitude journal, where we daily note 3 things we are grateful for, can be a simple yet powerful practice to cultivate a positive and peaceful attitude. Self-reflection also plays a crucial role in the quest for inner peace. Setting aside time to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and emotions allows us to understand ourselves better and make necessary adjustments to align our lives with our deepest values. Tools like journaling can be helpful in this process of self-exploration. Inner peace is not something that is achieved once and for all. It is a state that requires continuous practice and dedication. Like a garden that needs to be cultivated, our inner peace must be nurtured daily through spiritual practices and healthy habits. This can include reading inspiring texts, such as Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, which offers insights on Stoic philosophy and the importance of mental tranquility. Taking care of the body through healthy eating, regular exercise, and adequate sleep also contributes to inner peace. When we are physically healthy, our mind and spirit can find balance more easily. The quest for inner peace also involves accepting our shadows. We all have aspects of ourselves that we would rather not see, but integrating these parts is essential for spiritual growth. This can be done through therapies that explore the shadow self, helping one understand and accept their fears and insecurities. Empathy is another quality that can be cultivated to achieve inner peace. When we develop the ability to understand and share others' feelings, we create an environment of harmony and compassion around us. Practices like volunteering or simply listening attentively to a friend can strengthen our empathy and bring us closer to this peace. Inner peace is also the foundation for a full and meaningful life. When we are at peace with ourselves, we can handle life's challenges more effectively and maintain a sense of balance even in difficult situations. This state of harmony allows us to live according to our values and contribute positively to the world around us. This inner peace guides us in our spiritual journey, providing the foundation for deeper personal transformation. As we cultivate this peace, we realize that transformation is not just a superficial change, but a complete reassessment of our values, beliefs, and behaviors. This personal transformation becomes the key to living a more authentic and meaningful life. Personal transformation is a continuous and profound process that goes beyond superficial changes. It involves a complete reassessment of our values, beliefs, and behaviors. This process can be triggered by various experiences, such as a spiritual awakening, a personal crisis, or simply the desire to live a more authentic and meaningful life. At the beginning of personal transformation, it is common to feel disoriented. Old beliefs and behavior patterns start to be questioned, and one may feel as if they are navigating unknown territory. This is when self-reflection becomes an essential tool. By reflecting on our actions, thoughts, and emotions, we can identify what needs to be changed to align our lives with our deepest values. A practical example of personal transformation can be seen in the stories of people who decide to radically change their careers in search of something that brings more meaning and satisfaction. These decisions often come after a period of deep introspection, where one evaluates what truly matters in their life. Books like Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl can offer inspiration and guidance during this process. Personal transformation also requires the courage to let go of old patterns and relationships that no longer serve our purpose. This can be painful, but it is a necessary step to make space for new experiences and connections more aligned with our new level of consciousness. The practice of letting go can be facilitated by symbolic rituals, such as writing a farewell letter to these old patterns and burning it as an act of release. Moreover, personal transformation involves integrating all parts of oneself, including the shadows and the light. Accepting and working with these parts is essential for spiritual growth. Therapies that explore the shadow self can help one understand and accept their fears and insecurities, allowing for a more complete and authentic transformation. Empathy and compassion are qualities that strengthen during the process of personal transformation. As we become more aware of our struggles and challenges, we develop a greater capacity to understand and support others in their journeys. This strengthens our connection with universal energy and promotes an environment of mutual healing. Personal transformation also manifests in greater responsibility towards the environment and the community. By recognizing our interconnectedness with all beings, we become more committed to sustainable practices and actions that benefit collective well-being. This includes making small lifestyle changes to actively participating in social and environmental causes. This process of transformation leads us to a more conscious and intentional life. Every decision is made based on our values and the impact it will have on us and the world around us. Meditation, gratitude practice, and continuous self-reflection are tools that help us maintain this level of awareness and live according to our principles. Personal transformation is a journey that requires patience, perseverance, and self-compassion. It is a path of ups and downs, but each challenge faced and overcome brings us closer to our true essence. By living according to this truth, we find deeper meaning and lasting satisfaction. At the end of this journey, we realize that personal transformation has no final point. It is a continuous process of growth and evolution, where each stage prepares us for the next. Each new realization and understanding opens us up to new possibilities and allows us to live a fuller and more authentic life. This continuous transformation keeps us moving, always in search of new truths and learnings, guided by the light of our own spiritual evolution. By exploring these 9 dark truths, you come face to face with the depth of spiritual and personal growth. But it is not enough to merely know these truths. It is essential to apply them in your life. Reflect on each one and ask yourself, how can I transform this understanding into action? The path to a fuller and more enlightened life begins with small steps. Are you ready to start this journey of transformation? Leave your comments below on which truth impacted you the most and how you intend to apply it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue learning about topics that challenge and expand your consciousness. Your journey of discovery and enlightenment is just beginning. If you were intrigued by the dark truths we explored today, don't miss our next video. The Secret Unveiled: How the Mirror Principle Can Transform Your Life. Discover how this powerful principle can reflect your deepest beliefs and transform them into a positive force for change. Watch now and start unveiling the secrets that can revolutionize your life.